The Professors is brought to you by Blackborder.com. The site offers pro player articles by Rookie of the Year Lino Bergold, Martin Yuza, Gerard Fabiano, Nico Boni, Jan Massacre, Joel Califal, forums, auctions, podcasts, some of the lowest prices on the internet, and more. So go check out Blackborder.com today. Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of The Professors. This week, Worldwake spoiler season is underway and week 1 of the official previews has begun. So we'll take a look at the newest spoilers and discuss the magic of land advantage and set transition. So let's draw. While the current spoiler season is more locked down than the Simpsons house after Twinkie's gone missing, we've got 30 new spoilers. For 5 others from last week, check out my coverage of Blackborder.com's pooled cards. In our first of 7 revealed mythics, we take a gander at what is sure to be an Elder Dragon Highlander favorite, Admonition Angel. Additionally Unlimited, a 6/6 angel that lets you Oblivion Ring just for playing a land is a game ender against green, blue, and red. And even in black, the opposing player, in draft, has likely a 1 in 10 chance of an answer. In standard, it will see play in green-white or blue-white control. Even Iona, as a 9 casting cost creature requiring backup, sees play in blue-white control decks that elongate the game state. Talus Paladin is the 5th exciting white ally card. A 3/4 for 4 is unexciting, but with white allies having access to a non-creature ally spell, despite said spells simply generating creatures, white allies will already make the step to block constructed. Life gain is no longer a joke. Teams of dudes each turn will prove resilient even if 2 or 3 of the smaller ones are taken down. Hada Freeblade is notable simply because it's a 1-drop soldier. While a 1/2 soldier for 1 is nice and all, Elite Vanguard will see play over the Freeblade despite its extra soldier synergy with Kazandu Blademaster. However, as an ally, it pushes an aggressive start for blue-white allies in draft, and along with Join the Ranks, Kabira Evangel, Kazandu Blademaster, Talus Paladin, and even Andu Cleric, just might mean something for the slivers that could in standard. The core of Zendikar, on the other hand, failed to be any more notable than the Leonin of Mirrodin. For this reason, Kitesail Apprentice is this week's first recipient of an arbitrary, limited playable but not innovative card award. Paralleling it to Auriok Glavemaster, it is an improvement. Due to flying with a Trusty Machete Unlimited is 4 damage on turn 3, plenty dandy, but when your opponent is allowed to simply kill a creature and force you to set up for 2 more crucial turns, you can mark that game up as lost. Core Firewalker, opposite Kitesail Apprentice, yet like Barenton Forge Tender, will prove useful outside its own tribe in controlling sideboards against red decks. I only hope that with Comet Storm, Earthquake, and Chain Reaction, this will not be the only white card to stop red leveling forces like those. Ruin Ghost, on the other hand, is a prominent highlight of what role lands are meant to play in Magic. Their interactions should have been, and now are, vital. Come into play abilities just will start stacking to make lands like Kabira Crossroads, Valakut, and even the Refuges matter each turn. The litmus test for this card, however, will surely be standard as players attempt to find the infinite damage combo or mega mana buildup fast enough to be Junt. Tideforce Elemental also radiates an air of infinite combo, but just doesn't have the bouncing support to get your infinite mana combo, kinda like Magosi, which also appears pretty useless. The Zendikons will surely play a vital role, and you're not restricted to a basic land type. The blue-white beatdown of a 2/2 comes to mind, though in limited, 6/4s are more notable. I do feel that they should do something more. Land creatures, none of which are made out of Hedrons yet, are what Zendikar is about. But maybe, just maybe,
5 powers combined, they summon Earth's greatest champion, Captain Planet. The power is yours!
In black, half of our vampires are not of great interest. I'd take Ghouldra's Vampire or Vampire Lacerator over Pulse Tracker, a 1/1 that makes your opponent lose 1 life each time it attacks, any day. Vampires have more of a mid-range to control edge about them, as defined by 14-year-old 5K winner Eric Palmer Ducka. 1-drops very rarely fit a niche with their inherently weak card advantage. And Ruthless Coldblade, with +2/+1 when your opponent is bloodied, pales to a 2/1 that has the ability to take care of creatures double its size like Ruthless Coldblade, as well as quests and planeswalkers. However, these 2 vampires mean a more significant presence in Limited with the ability to get 6 to 15 vampires necessary to reliably cast Feast of Blood, and that vampires will be one of the top tier decks in block. However, what if, along with Feast of Blood, you could have a meaningful non-creature 2-drop? Well, Urge Defeat is just that. It's an upgrade from Disfigure in Limited, as a one-card combo that defeats those creatures with toughness previously above the threshold, and powers up your team of smaller vampires for the hunt. As an instant, it means that much more, likely allowing the card to cross the standard when you can end a turn of combat that much quicker. Additionally, the Magic Show previewed Calastria Highborn means a lot against not just red decks, but all aggro, along with turning Wealths of Mana into Tendrils of Agony that storms for each mana and vampire going to the yard. Against Earthquakes, Comet Storms, Volcanic Fallouts, and Chain Reactions, with merely 3 mana allows the Vampire deck to win because these cards, often perversely, level your opponent's situation as well. Platinum Angel comes to mind as a card that helps you not lose, but makes you have an underwhelming field on the 7th turn. Abyssal Persecutor comes to mind as a card that helps you not win, but have a substantial field on turn 4. While it's still just not better than Baneslayer Angel in battle, it requires only, say, a Feast of Blood or a Gatekeeper of Malakir trigger ironically targeting you to finish the game up around turn 6. Speaking of Suicide Black, a 13/13 for 1? Nah, couldn't be. That's right, it couldn't be. For Death's Shadow to be remotely effective, you have to be at 10 or less life, which is further ironic with the vampire's bloodied effect running around. But interestingly enough, with Platinum Angel can create interesting ways to win in long game states when you can land a 13/13 for 1 after having ramped all the way up to 7 for the Angel. As for this card I'd been talking about, causing a potential chain reaction of metagame plays is, drumroll please, Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction is the ultimate board sweeper in red. Few creatures will survive its slaughtering effect, but while played in, say, a red-white control deck, with Baneslayer, rewards you for only having 1 creature and screws them over for having up to 3. As for our next card, Cunning Spark Mage, it is possibly the most broken and most innovative spoiler in the set. Check this out. And by broken and innovative, I mean it's the second winner of our arbitrary limited playable but not innovative card award. Yes. So, here's to you, Mr. Unoriginal Pseudo-Prodigal Pyromancer guy. Dragon Master Outcast, as spoiled by the Dragon Master himself, Brian Kibler, is the ultimate 1/1 dude. As a 1/1 dude, he does much more than a regular 1/1 dude. Generating 5/5s each turn, starting on turn 6, is amazing, but don't think you'll have to wait that long. This card will make it into blue-red and red-green builds with the ability to get there that much quicker or slow time down so you have the time to get where you're needing to go. Stone Idol Trap is an innovative token generator in the fact that it makes the first 6/12 the game has ever seen. Gives you a colorless artifact, lowers the card's cost according to most often the number of attackers your opponents control, but doesn't make you sacrifice this enormous creature until the end of your turn, after you get a chance to trample on through. This is one of the only cards that makes your opponent deeply consider how many creatures to attack with. But I fear we're running out of time with all these awesome spoilers, for there is a threat to our nation.
I'm here to educate you about the single biggest threat to our planet. You see, there is something out there which threatens our very existence and may be the end to the human race as we know it. I'm talking, of course, about Man-Bear-Pig.
No, unfortunately, Man-Bear-Pig will not be making that epic of an entrance to Magic, or one at all. Instead, we get Snake Wolf Elephant. Oh boy. There's so much more exciting and active. Well, as deviations of rampant growth go, this one is a fine flow of allowing an extra land from your hand, but rightfully replaces it, now giving you a slightly better chance of accelerating to gas. Rampant growth seems a bit more fair, but this is a step above the turn behind that Search for Tomorrow was, and just more properly operates and replaces itself than Sylvan Scrying, which can hardly be noted as an acceleration spell. Om Nom Nom Locus of Mana does eat away at mana, especially when your opponent kills it in a phase you can't use said mana. But it also Om Nom Noms on your opponent's face. When you can properly gauge to add mana to your pool, i.e. during their combat phase on defense or yours on offense. Nova Blastworm is an absolute... Let's see, what's the synonym for blast? Nova Blastworm is an absolute detonation of fun when you get to attack. Of course, if your opponent is any good at playing Magic, they will save a spell for something like this. However, with cards like Wall of Reverence, Vines of Vastwood, Baneslayer Angel, Harm's Way, and Knight of the Reliquary all in this powerful green-white mix, and with Lotus Cobra to speed you up to Nova Blastworm, as the block's first revealed multicolor card will be a Tempest of Fun. Lodestone is a stone. a type of magnetite to be exact, that is plentiful in Mirrodin. This likely suggests that Lodestone Golem is one of the transition cards for an upcoming artifact theme. I don't say this just because it's an artifact, but because it punishes opponents for not playing artifacts. It's similar to Aethersworn Canonist, except that Shards had a sub-artifact theme. As far as the manlands, the red-green one is preferable as it creates a constant threat in a deck that attempts to simply bash and then runs out of cards. The black-red one is less exciting, though to the end of the game, Fire Breathing is a decent touch to a 2/2 for 3. So until next time, this is Anthony Palmerio. Tapped out for now, but we'll untap soon.